Welcome to Grandpa's Gentle Sleep Stories. If tonight your mind feels a little too busy, a little too awake, you're in the right place. You don't need to quiet your thoughts. You don't need to sort them out. These stories are here to sit beside you while your thinking slowly runs out of steam, so get comfortable. It is 11:47 p.m. You notice the number because it feels specific later than you meant to stay awake. The house is quiet now, not the kind of quiet that feels empty, kind that feels settled, finished with the day. You are still awake inside your head, very awake. Your body is tired, your shoulders feel heavy, but your thoughts are alert. They move carefully one after another. You sit in a small pool of light. A lamp glows nearby, not bright, just enough to see the edge of the room. The shadows feel deeper tonight, more noticeable. The refrigerator hums faintly. From the kitchen, the sound feels louder than it did earlier. Every small noise seems clearer at this hour. A soft shift in the house frame. Faint tick of something cooling down, the gentle hum of electricity. Behind the walls you hear it all, and your mind adds to it. It replays a conversation from earlier, a sentence you wish you had shaped differently, tone you wonder about. Then it moves forward to tomorrow. 2. Something unfinished. 2. Something uncertain. The house does not react. It stays still around and Betharid. You glance at the clock. Again, 11:48 now. Time has moved. Even while you are thinking it always does. You shift slightly in your seat. The cushion presses back against you, soft, steady. The lamp hums quietly beside you. It does not judge your wakefulness. It does not ask why you are still up. It simply shines. Your breathing feels shallow at first. You notice it. You let it deepen slightly. In out your thoughts. Try again. They wander toward something small, a minor mistake, a detail that probably did not matter much. But here at 11:47 p.m., it feels larger, more important. To sit with it for a moment, not pushing it away, not chasing it further, just noticing it. The room remains unchanged. The walls do not lean in. The shadows do not shift dramatically. Everything stays exactly where it was. You realize that being awake in your head does not mean something is wrong. It simply means your mind has not finished moving. Yet that is all. The house after 11:47 p.m. feels different from the house at 7 p.m. It carries a softness, a slower rhythm. No doors opening, no footsteps passing, no phones ringing, just stillness. You listen to that stillness carefully. It does not pressure you to sleep. It does not demand silence from your thoughts. It simply exists. Your breathing grows a little deeper in out. The clock changes again. 11:49. You notice how time continues whether you are calm or restless. It does not wait for your thoughts to finish. It does not hurry them either. It just moves you. Rest your hands loosely in your lap. They feel warmer, now heavier. The lamp glow softens the edge of the table beside. Youth room feels contained, safe. Your mind is still active, still awake, but not frantic, just alert. You let a thought rise gently. You look at it without judging it. Then you let it drift. Another appears. You notice it too, and let it pass. You are not trying to silence your mind. You are simply sitting with it. The house remains steady. The hum continues. The shadows stay soft. 11:50 now.
You almost smile at how precise the night feels, as if every minute has weight, but it does not. It is just another minute you lean. Back slightly, the chair supports you without effort. Your shoulders loosen a little. You do not have to solve tomorrow tonight. You do not have to replay today perfectly. You are simply here awake in your head, and that is allowed. The house after 11:47 p.m. feels patient, has seen nights like this before, nights when thoughts move slowly in the dark, nights when sleep takes its time. Lamp continues to glow and trouble you. Take another slow breath, and now your thoughts are still awake, but they are less sharp. Now less demanding. They feel like quiet visitors rather than urgent alarms. You glance once more at the clock. 11:51. Time continues gently, and you begin to sense that perhaps you do not need to fight this wakefulness. You can simply sit with it, let it soften on its own soon. Maybe you will lie back and look at the ceiling. Let it hold your wandering thoughts without responding. But for now you remain in the quiet house after 11:47 p.m. awake in your head and slowly beginning to settle. We move gently from the chair. The clock has changed again, and now you are lying back looking up. You lie down slowly. The mattress receives your weight without protest. The pillow adjusts beneath your head, cool at first, then warm. You look up at the ceiling. It is plain, still unchanging. There are no moving shadows, now no shifting light, just a quiet surface above you. Your thoughts are still awakes, still active. They continue their quiet movement, but the ceiling does not respond. It does not interrupt it, does not lean closer. It simply remains where it has always been. You notice a faint outline where the ceiling meets the wall. A clean line, steady. The room feels contained, held in place. Your breathing moves gently in your chest, and out a thought rises about tomorrow morning, about something small but unfinished. You let it hover there for a moment. The ceiling does not change. It does not judge the thought. It does not grow darker or lighter. It simply stays still. You begin to notice how comforting that is. Something steady, something not reacting to your mind. Your eyes trace a small crack in the paint, thin, barely noticeable during the day now. It looks like a quiet line stretching across a small part of the surface. It has probably been there for years and bothered by your thoughts, unaware of them entirely. Your mind moves again. Replace something from earlier, a moment that felt awkward. You feel the edge of it slightly. Then you return your gaze to the ceiling, still there unmoved. The steadiness begins to influence you. You do not have to react to every thought. You can let them pass beneath this calm surface. Your breathing grows slower in out. The room around you remains quiet. House is resting. No footsteps, no voices, just the faint hum in the distance. Ceiling does not rush toward morning. It does not measure how long you have been awake. It does not expect you to sleep instantly. It simply exists above you, a quiet presence. You feel your shoulders sink deeper into the mattress. The pillow supports your neck evenly. You are not holding yourself upright anymore. Another thought rises, a question without an answer. Yet you look at it gently, then let it fade. The ceiling remains unchanged. Its calm becomes almost contagious. You begin to match its stillness, not perfectly, just gradually. The line where the ceiling meets the wall feels steady, reliable. It has been there every night before this one. It will be there tomorrow. It does not depend on your thoughts to stay in place. Your eyelids lower slightly, not closed, just softer. The edges of the ceiling blur gently, your breathing deepens. Again, in out the wakefulness in your head no longer feels sharp, it feels quieter, less demanding. You are still aware, still conscious, but not tense. The ceiling does not ask you to understand everything. It does not need your mind to be silent. It only offers steadiness, and you begin to rest inside that steadiness. The minutes pass quietly. You do not look at the clock. Now you do not need to time. Is moving whether you watch it or not. Your thoughts appear more slowly, one at a time, then space, then another, but the spaces are growing wider. The ceiling remains plain and quiet above you. Soft boundary between you and the night sky beyond you. Take another slow breath in out your jaw. Relaxes slightly. Your hands rest loosely at your sides. The wakefulness in your head begins to feel less like a problem or like a phase, something passing gently. Ceiling listens without speaking, without reacting, without changing, and in its quiet stillness you begin to feel ready to step out of bed for a moment into the hallway where a soft nightlight waits near the floor. You do not rush, you just sit up slowly. The hallway is waiting quietly. You sit up slowly in bed. Room stays quiet behind you. Ceiling no longer holds your eyes. Your feet touch the floor. Gently asterisk, cool, steady you. Stand without hurry. The house does not react to your movement. It remains soft and still. You open the bedroom door carefully. The hallway greets you with dim light. A small nightlight glows near the baseboard. Not bright, just enough. Its light pulls softly. Across the floor a pale circle in the dark. You step into the hallway. The floorboards feel firm beneath your feet. Air is slightly cooler here, quieter somehow. The house at this hour feels different from the daytime version. During the day it carries voices, footsteps, clinking dishes, movement from room to room. But now it feels forgiving, less expectant. It is not asking you to perform it. It's not asking you to finish anything. It simply rests. You walk slowly toward the nightlight. Its glow reflects faintly. Along the wall, soft shadows gather above it. Nothing sharp, nothing sudden. You notice how calm this small light feels. It does not try to fill the entire hallway. It only lights a small space. And that seems enough. Your thoughts are still present, but they feel quieter here, less loud than they were under the ceiling. The hallway seems to absorb some of their sharpness. You pause beside the nightlight. Its warmth brushes lightly against your ankle. You look down at it, simple, uncomplicated. It has one job: to glow gently in the dark. And it does that well. You take a slow breath in. Out the house gives a small settling sound somewhere far away. Quiet shift in the frame. You listen. It feels natural, normal. The house is resting. To you, lean lightly against the wall. Paint feels cool against your shoulder, solid, real. Your thoughts try to gather again. A small concern, a question about tomorrow. The hallway does not join them. It does not amplify them. It remains dim and steady. You realize that the house at night does not hold the same energy as the house in the morning. It feels slower, more patient, more forgiving of wakefulness. You are not disturbing it by being here, are simply moving quietly through it. The nightlight hums faintly, barely noticeable. Its glow remains. Steady you. Notice how the shadows look softer than they did earlier in the evening. They no longer seem deep or heavy. They feel gentle, almost protective. Your breathing grows slower again. In out asterisk. The hallway stretches quietly behind you. Doors. Closed rooms. Resting asterisk. The house feels like it understands this hour. It has seen nights like this before, nights when someone walks softly through the dark, thinking, listening, waiting for sleep to come naturally. Take a few more slow steps down the hall. The light follows you only partway, then fades behind you. Ahead does not frighten you. It feels calm and hurried. You stop near the end of the hallway. There is a window there. You can feel the faint coolness from it, even before you see it clearly. House remains steady behind you. Nightlight continues its small glow. Your thoughts are no longer pressing forward. They are moving at your pace, now slow, measured. You realize you do not need to force sleep. You do not need to force silence in your head. You only need to let the night hold you gently. The hallway, with the soft nightlight, has done its work. It has softened the edges. It has slowed your steps. It has reminded you that being awake is not a failure. It is simply a moment. You take another breath in, out. The house rests around you. Darkness feels calm, and as you turn slightly toward the window at the end of the hall, you feel ready to look out at the quiet street beyond you. Are already near the window. The hallway is quiet behind you, and the street beyond is resting. You step closer to the window slowly. Glass is cool even before you touch it. The hallway light fades behind you. Only the pale glow from outside remains. A streetlight stands at the corner. Its light spreads softly across the pavement. Not bright, just steady. You rest your fingertips lightly against the window frame. The wood feels smooth, solid, unmoving. The street outside looks almost paused. No cars, no footsteps, no sudden motion. Just stillness under a quiet sky. You notice how calm it feels out there, as the world has agreed to take a breath. Your thoughts are still awake, still moving gently inside you, but the street does not respond to them. It does not grow louder. It does not shift. It simply rests you. Watch the light reflect faintly on the damp pavement. The rain from earlier has left a soft sheen. The glow stretches in a long, quiet line. Unbothered. Take a slow breath in, out. The glass fogs slightly from your warmth, then clears again. Your reflection appears faintly beside the streetlight. You look softer, now less alert than before, less tight around the eyes. The world beyond the window does not need your attention right now. It is carrying itself. The trees stand quietly, their branches barely moving. The houses across the street are dark windows, closed curtains drawn. They are not thinking about tomorrow. They are not replaying yesterday. They are simply resting you. Realize how often you believe your thoughts are necessary at this hour, as if staying awake in your head keeps something in place. But the streetlight shines whether you are thinking or not. The pavement holds steady. The sky stretches calmly overhead. Nothing is waiting for you to solve it. You lean your forehead lightly against the glass. The coolness steadies you, grounds you. Your thoughts begin to slow again, not because you force them, but because there is nothing urgent happening out there. The Quiet outside begins to meet the quiet inside gently, gradually. Let one thought rise, just one. You look at it softly. Then you let it fade without chasing it. The street remains unchanged. Light continues its steady glow. The night deepens slightly. You notice a faint breeze move the leaves, a small rustling sound, then stillness again. World feels independent from your mind. It does not need your worry. It does not need your rehearsal. It will turn toward morning, whether you stay awake or not. That realization feels light, not heavy. You breathe in again, in out. Your shoulders drop slightly. Tension you did not notice earlier softens further. You are simply standing at a window looking at a quiet street, nothing more, nothing less. You do not need to make this moment meaningful. It already is. Streetlight hums faintly, almost too soft to hear, but steady, reliable. Your reflection in the glass looks calmer, now less sharp, more at ease. You realize that being awake does not mean you must be active. You can be awake and still awake, and gentle awake and quiet. World outside continues resting. It does not hurry you. It does not question you. It simply exists, and in that steady existence your thoughts lose some of their urgency. They feel less like alarms, more like passing clouds. You step back from the window slowly. The hallway dim behind you. Small nightlight still glowing near the floor. The house remains soft and patient. You take one last look at the quiet street, then turn gently away. Your steps feel slower now, heavier in a calm way. You sense that perhaps a small glass of water might help, not because you must do something, but because the kitchen waits without noise, without pressure. And as you walk back down the hallway, you carry the steadiness of the quiet street with you. Hallway fades behind you. Kitchen waits in shadow. Nothing busy there anymore. You step into the kitchen quietly. The room feels different at this hour. During the day it carries movement, voices, cupboards opening, water running, but now it rests only. A faint glow from the streetlight slips through the window. It paints a soft line across the counter. You do not turn on the main light. There is no need. The darkness feels gentle, not heavy. You walk toward the sink slowly. The floor beneath your feet is cool, smooth, steady. You hand reaches for a glass without thinking too much about it. The glass sits where it always does, reliable, waiting. You turn the faucet carefully. Water flows in a quiet stream, clear, simple. The sound feels louder than it would during the day. It echoes softly in the still room. You watch the glass fill, then you turn the faucet off. Silence returns. You lift the glass slowly. Take a small sip, cool, refreshing, nothing dramatic, just water. You lean lightly against the counter. The edge presses gently against your hip, grounding you. Your thoughts are still awake, but they feel softer here, less sharp, less insistent. Kitchen does not rush you. It does not demand decisions. It simply exists in shadow and quiet. You notice how the refrigerator hum fills the space, gently, steady, low, almost like breathing. The table in the center of the room stands still, chairs tucked neatly underneath, as if waiting for morning. You realize how much activity this room has seen today. Conversations, meals, movement. And now it asks for nothing. It has done its part. You take another slow sip of water, the glass cool against your fingers. You Do not scroll your phone. You do not check the time. You simply stand breathing and out your thoughts begin to space themselves out. One appears, then fades, another follows. But it feels lighter. The kitchen in shadow seems to absorb some of their weight. You rest your free hand flat against the countertop. Surface feels solid, unmoving, reliable. You notice the faint reflection of the window in the polished surface. The streetlight outside still glowing steady. The world continues resting. You are simply here, awake, not solving, not rehearsing, just existing in a quiet room. The faucet remains still. The hum continues. The shadows remain soft. You realize you do not have to make use of every waking minute. You do not have to turn this moment into something productive. It can simply be a pause, a gentle one. You finish the last sip of water, set the glass down softly in the sink. The small clink echoes faintly, then fades. You stay leaning there a moment longer, letting the coolness of the counter steady. Your breathing feels deeper, now, and yet the thoughts in your head feel further away, not gone, just quieter. The kitchen that once carried the weight of the day now carries only stillness. It feels forgiving, as if it understands that nothing needs to be decided at this hour. You glance toward the doorway. The hallway remains dim, the night light still glowing softly. Near the floor, the house feels complete. It does not expect more from you tonight. You push yourself gently away from the counter. Your body feels heavier now. A calm way the water has cooled your throat. A silence has cooled your thoughts. You take one last look around the kitchen, the table, the chairs, the faint glow from outside. Everything is resting, and you can rest too. Step quietly back toward the hallway, leaving the kitchen. In its shadowed calm, your thoughts slower than before, less urgent. And somewhere beyond the doorway, the old armchair near the lamp waits patiently. Hallway grows softer behind you, and the living room waits quietly. The lamp is still on. You step back into the living room slowly. The lamp in the corner is still glowing warm. Steady, it has not moved, has not dimmed. It simply continues. The old armchair sits beside it, worn in familiar places, softened by years of quiet evenings. It looks welcoming now, more than it did earlier. You walk toward it without hurry. The floor beneath your feet feels solid, grounded. You lower yourself gently into the chair. The cushion gives under your weight, supportive. Fabric brushes lightly against your arms, comforting. You lean back. The lamp glow reaches across your hands, across your knees, across the edge of the room. It does not try to fill the entire space. It only softens what it touches. Your thoughts are still awake, but they feel less sharp here, less urgent. The chair holds you without asking anything. It does not expect solutions. It does not demand clarity. It simply supports you. You rest your hands loosely on the armrests. They feel heavier, now warmer. Room feels smaller. In this corner contains safe. The shadows behind you are gentle, not looming. Just present, the lamp hums faintly, a quiet companion. Sound, you notice how steady it is. It does not flicker when a thought rises. It does not brighten when you relax. It simply shines. You let one thought surface, just one. You look at it softly, then you let it fade. Lamp remains unchanged. The chair remains steady. Your breathing deepens in out. The living room feels different at this hour. During The day it holds movement conversation light from the windows, but now it holds quiet, and that quiet feels kind. You sink a little deeper into the backrest. The chair creaks softly, an honest sound familiar. Your shoulders loosen further. You are not trying to fall asleep here. You are simply resting in the light. Your mind may still be awake, but it no longer feels restless. It feels accompanied. The lamp continues its soft glow. The shadows stay calm. The house remains steady around you. You realize you do not need to push your thoughts away. They can exist gently here without turning into something heavy. Another thought appears, a small one. You notice it and let it drift. Spaces between thoughts grow wider, longer, more peaceful. The armchair supports your weight evenly. Cushion presses back in a reassuring way. You adjust slightly. The fabric whispers softly as you move. Lamp light warms your face. You close your eyes. For a moment, not to sleep, just to feel the warmth. Your breathing becomes slower again. And out the world outside continues quietly. Streetlight glowing, the houses resting, the sky turning slowly toward morning. But here, in this small circle of light, time feels softer, less pressing. You open your eyes again. The lamp is still steady, still patient. You realize that being awake in your head does not mean you are alone with it. House is here. The chair is here. The lamp is here, all steady, all calm. Your thoughts feel like distant ripples now, not waves, just small movements on the surface. You let them be. You do not stir them further. Clock somewhere in the house ticks faintly, steady, unhurried. You begin to notice its rhythm. Beneath everything else, quiet, reliable. It does not rush toward morning. It does not drag the night behind it. It simply moves forward, 1 second at a time. You sit in the old armchair, near the lamp wrapped in warm light. Your mind still awake, but softer, slower. As you listen more carefully, you begin to follow the gentle rhythm of that ticking clock. Stay where you are for a moment longer. The chair is steady. The lamp is warm, and now you begin to notice the clock. You hear it clearly. Now it a small pause talk. The sound is not loud. It does not demand attention. It simply continues tick-tock. You sit still in the armchair. The lamp glows beside you. House remains quiet, but the clock keeps moving 1 second at a time. It does not skip ahead. It does not double back. It does not try to catch up with morning tick-tock. You notice how steady it is, even when your thoughts are not. Even when your breathing shifts slightly, the clock stays the same. Tick-tock. Your mind tries to wander again. Thought about tomorrow, a small unfinished task, but the sound interrupts. Gently, not harshly, just consistently. Tick-tock. You lean back deeper into the chair. Let your head rest against the cushion. Rhythm continues without effort. To do not need to keep time. The clock is already doing that for you. Tick-tock. You begin to match your breathing to it. Inhale, tick, exhale, tock. The pattern feels natural and forced. The house seems to breathe with it. The walls steady, the shadows soft. Tick-tock. The clock does not judge your wakefulness. It does not rush you toward sleep. It does not sigh impatiently. Simply moves forward 1 second at a time. You realize something gentle. You do not need to solve tomorrow tonight. You only need to move through this second. Then the next tick-tock, your thoughts begin to slow further. They no longer run ahead. They walk Beside the rhythm-measured calm, the lamp hums softly. Chair supports you evenly. The clock keeps its quiet pace tick-tock. The sound feels almost like a companion. Now lonely, not empty, just steady. You close your eyes briefly. The ticking continues in the dark. You do not lose it, you feel it. Instead, tick-tock, your breathing grows. Slower, longer pauses between each inhale. The space between thoughts widens. You rest inside that space. Clock does not drag yesterday behind it. It does not carry regret. It does not replay old conversations. It only marks now this moment. Then the next tick-tock, you notice how calming that isto. Focus only on this second, not the hour, not the morning, just this small movement of time. Your shoulders relax further. Your hands grow heavy. Against the armrests, the lamplight feels softer on your eyelids. Tick-tock. The house feels like it is resting inside the rhythm. Kitchen dark, the hallway dim, the window quiet, all steady, all patient. Your thoughts are faint now, like distant echoes. They appear quietly, then dissolve into the ticking tick-tock. You begin to understand that the clock is not hurrying you anywhere. It is not pushing you toward sleep. It is simply keeping gentle company while you are awake. And being awake no longer feels urgent. It feels neutral, calm. Another breath, inhale, tick, exhale, talk. The rhythm continues, reliable, unchanging. You feel your body sinking deeper into the chair. Heavier, more. Relax. The ticking grows softer in your awareness. Not because it stopped, but because you no longer need to listen so closely. It carries on by itself. You open your eyes slowly. The lamp glows gently. The room remains steady. The clock continues somewhere in the house. Tick-tock, and you begin to sense that being awake in your head is no longer something to fight, but something that can soften on its own. As you move gently into the final quiet of the night, stay where you are for a moment longer. Clock is still ticking, but something has shifted. You can feel it. You notice it gently. You are still awake. Clock has not stopped. The lamp is still glowing. The house remains quiet. And yet something feels different. Earlier, being awake felt sharp, like something to solve, like something to correct. Now it feels softer, more neutral. You sit in the chair for a moment longer, listening to the faint ticking tick-tock. It no longer feels like time slipping away. Feels like time simply moving. You take a slow breath in, out. Your chest rises and falls easily. Your shoulders stay relaxed. Your jaw is no longer tight. You are awake, but you are not tense. That feels new. The lamp casts a warm circle around you. Edges of the room remain in shadow. The shadows do not feel heavy. They feel calm. You realize that nothing bad has happened because you were awake. The world did not fall apart. The night did not collapse. Morning did not rush, and everything remained steady. Clock continued. The house rested. You simply existed inside the quiet. You lean forward slightly, then stand. Chair releases you gently. You do not feel restless now. You feel ready. Asterisk. You walk slowly toward the bedroom again. Hallway nightlight still glows softly. The floor cool beneath your feet. House feels like it understands. You are not returning to bed out of frustration. You are returning because you are ready. That feels different. You step into the bedroom quietly. The bed waits just as it did before, unmoved, patient. You sit on the edge of the mattress. It dips slightly beneath you. Part of you pause there for a moment, listening, the clock faint in the distance. Hum of the house, steady, nothing urgent you. Slide your legs under the blanket slowly. Fabric settles over you. Warm, familiar you. Lower your head to the pillow. It welcomes you back. No questions asked you. Close your eyes gently. Your thoughts are still there, but they feel like distant ripples now. Waves, just small movements on the surface. You let one thought pass, then another. You do not try to hold them. You do not try to push them away. They move softly and then fade. Your breathing deepens in out. You realize that being awake in your head was never the enemy. It was just a momentous phase of the night, and like all moments, it passes. House continues to rest around you. Streetlight outside, still glowing, the clock still ticking, the armchair still warm from where you sat. Everything remains steady. You do not need to supervise the night. You do not need to guard tomorrow. You can simply lie here awake. If you are awake, sleepy, if you are sleepy, there is no pressure in this room. May quiet your eyelids grow heavier, not force, just natural. The spaces between thoughts widen further, longer. Pauses, quieter gaps. You rest inside those gaps. They feel safe. Your body sinks deeper into the mattress. Blanket feels heavier in a comforting way. Your hands relax completely. Your breathing slows again, in out. The ticking of the clock feels distant now, almost like a memory. You are no longer measuring time. You are simply resting inside Ida. Final thought drifts by, small, unimportant. You let it go without effort. You do not chase it. You do not analyze. It fades on its own. The room feels darker, now softer. The lamp in the living room, still glowing faintly beyond the doorway, but it no longer pulls your attention. Nothing pulls at you anymore. You are simply here, awake, but not troubled, and as your breathing grows slower still, you begin to sense the quiet pulling you gently inward, not suddenly, not dramatically, just softly. The house remains steady. The clock continues its patient rhythm.